I hope you're all having an evil day and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. I can't even pretend to do some serious deep villain voice. I'm so excited about this makeup look. I have wanted to do a villain for a while, and I feel the evil queen is so glam. She has so much fun. I just could not wait to do her eyeshadow. By her, I mean me, obviously it's me. But I just love the eyeshadow. I think it's so fun, and just doing some sparkle and a deep lip. I love it. I feel Disney princesses are fun to do and all, but their makeup is just really simple and just really subtle. Whereas I feel the villains, you can go all out and just have fun with it. And that's exactly what I did. So if you guys would like to recreate this makeup look, I take you step by step. I show you how to do the brows, the eyeshadow, lashes, lips, all that. I already did my base off camera, but basically what I did for that was I just kind of popped on some blush, more of an orange corally blush. And I added a highlight and contoured my nose. You can't see a lot of it because it's covered up with this black thing. So I did do a contour, so just believe me on that. It's in there somewhere. But I hope you guys are excited for this really fun, spooky Halloween makeup tutorial, and let's get started.
Starting off, I'm taking the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 6. This is their darkest shade. I'm starting off at the very bottom of my brow, and basically what I'm going to do is draw a diagonal through my brow to the very top of my brow. This will really over-exaggerate your arches if you don't have a ton of brow hair. If you do have fuller brows than me, which most likely you do, you don't have to do this. This is just something I was doing because I don't have a lot of eyebrows and I can have the opportunity to over exaggerate them. So on the back half, I'm doing the exact same thing where I'm basically bringing that back down. And then when I'm filling in my brows, I'm making them as thin as possible and just drawing a line back up to the top, just kind of connecting the dots. And I will be filling them in with the pencil, as making them as dark as possible. Afterwards, to cover up the hairs I am taking a concealer. This is the Benefit Cakeless Concealer. And I'm just going to take a concealer brush and just run that directly underneath my brow to clean it up and to hide some of those brow hairs. After that, I'm taking the Makeup Geek Cosmetics shade So Pale. It's a really white shade, both to cover up my brows and also to kind of highlight them as well. Taking the shade Prim and Proper from Makeup Geek, it's a really light, almost like dusty pink, dusty purple. I'm going to take that on a Sephora 27 brush. It's just a fluffy blending brush, and putting that right in my crease. If you don't have a shade like this, don't worry. You could always use a very light, neutral skin tone shade as well. This is just going to be our base shade. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this on and really blending it out to make sure it looks seamless. I do spend a lot of time on my makeup, just really over blending and making sure everything doesn't have any harsh edges before I go on to the next step. And that's really important for making your makeup look seamless.
Video of this kangaroo has this dog in a headlock, and this guy runs up and tries to grab his dog, and then squares up to this kangaroo and punches it in its face.
Next, I'm taking the shade Eternally Grateful on a smaller blending brush and really just popping that into the outer crease. With a lot of these shadows, if you don't have these exact shadows from Makeup Geek, no worries. The reason why I'm using them is because I feel a lot of other palettes have shades similar, and that way you can kind of mix and match and use whatever you have. We are creating something called a halo eye, which is where you put darker shadows in the inner and outer corners and kind of connect that at the top and have a lighter shadow in the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off with these darker shadows, really building that up into the outer and inner corner in my crease area, starting at the base, and then when there's less pigment on my brush, I'm bringing that up to the middle point of my eye and really just using that to carve out my orbital bone so it makes my eye appear larger and you can really see the edges of it. Also, when there is less pigment on the brush, I will use that same brush to blend out the edges to make it look as smooth as possible. This next shade for Makeup Geek is called Back to the Fuchsia. It is definitely a fuchsia purple, and I am putting that right next to the other shade, a little bit closer to the inner corner. So I'm kind of blending these two colors together. If you don't have a more vibrant color purple, you could also use a lighter color purple. If you do have two different shades, I would use the darker shade on the outside, and then slightly more towards the middle, I would use a lighter purple shade. But I thought this was perfect because it was a little bit more vibrant and colorful, and I thought it added a really fun depth and dimension. So what I'm doing is taking that Back to the Fuchsia shade right in the inner and outer corners, again, just right next to where we put Eternally Grateful, a little bit closer to the middle section. And I'll continue because when you blend it out, it does kind of lose some of its pigment. I will continue to add this back on just to make it a little bit more vibrant. Afterwards, I'm taking the Too Faced Glitter Glue Primer. This primer is amazing for making any sort of shimmer shadows or glitters really pop and also stay there too. So what I'm doing is I'm using the same concealer brush. You could also use your finger if you don't have a concealer brush, and just popping that in to that negative space that we have in the middle where we haven't applied any eyeshadows yet. This will just act as a really nice base before going in with some of the shimmer shades. I'm using the shade Daydreamer from Makeup Geek, but if you don't have a light shimmery purple, which most of you probably don't, you could also use like a silver shadow or even like a gold, but basically something that's a really light shimmer. You don't want to use a deep dark shimmer because you won't have the same effect where it makes it look like the eye is really popping out. So you want to use a lighter shadow. I would recommend like a silver if you don't have a purple. But what I'm doing here is I'm placing that right in the middle part of my eye. This is creating a more ombre look, and it really is adding a lot of depth and dimension to the eye. I am also packing that a little bit over where we put Back to the Fuchsia and just kind of blending that with my finger on top of that. What I'm going to do afterwards, and I actually learned this trick on YouTube from another YouTuber, is first put down the shimmer shadow and then you'll go on top of it with the matte shadow to kind of blend the two together. And I'll do this layering technique a couple different times, but what it does is it creates a really seamless blend, and from any angle it really looks like it has a lot more depth and dimension. So as you can see right here, when I'm really packing that on, it looks so blended and it really creates a nice ombre look when you kind of layer on these two different textures. And of course, because I did lose some of the shimmer, I'm adding that back on afterwards. So I would recommend just doing these steps as many times as you like until you can see I'm looking at it from different angles and seeing that it does look really softly blended from all sides. Afterwards, I am taking a Thrive Cosmetics, this is a smudge brush. I'm using the Back to the Fuchsia shade and I'm just smudging that right underneath my eye, again to kind of tie in the look underneath. To deepen up my eye, I'm taking the shade Smoke Signal from Makeup Geek. You could also use a black or a dark gray, whatever your darkest shade is. I'd recommend using that. I'm putting that right underneath my waterline, keeping that really close to my lash line because I don't really want this to go super high. I'm basically just layering this down before I put on my false lashes and mascara to really make it pop. I'm basically putting this where you put an eyeliner. I'm also taking the Heavy Metal Glitter from Urban Decay, and just to add a little bit more dimension and sparkle, of course, I'm putting that right where we put the other shimmer shadow, so right in the middle of my eye. This will add a really fun depth to your eye look. I'm also taking a Lit Cosmetics glitter. This is the shade Champagne Wishes. I've had it forever, and while that glitter is still a little bit tacky from putting down the heavy metal glitter, it's kind of like a liquid. While it's still a little wet, I'm just kind of packing that other glitter on top of it so it'll adhere to it. Applying some of the Benefit Cosmetics Bad Gal Bang mascara to my lower lash line, and after that we're going in with lashes. My lashes I'm using are the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. They're my all-time favorites. I just feel like they're so fun, so dramatic, and so I'm just popping those on. These are some this is like a lash tool I got from Moxie Lash. They're actually supposed to be used for like magnetic lashes, but I've been using them to apply all my lashes recently and it makes it so much easier. So if you guys struggle, I recommend trying a tool like this. It might make it easier for you to apply. For my lipstick, I'm actually using two of those liners. The first one I'm using is the shade called Bitchette. It is a red lip liner from Colourpop Cosmetics. I really love their lip liners. They are just so creamy and so easy to apply. But again, you don't need to use this. You could also use whatever red lipstick, lip liner you have in your collection. If you don't have a red lip liner, you could just use a red lipstick. But what I'm doing first is I'm attempting to do a ombre lip. However, the two shades I'm using don't end up being contrasting enough, so you can't really tell. But if you wanted to know how to do an ombre lip, what I'm doing is I'm starting with a darker shade in the outer corners of my lip. I'm just kind of outlining my lip in general, but then kind of feathering that in towards the outer corners of my lip, and I will leave the inner part of my lip bare for the second shade. Then taking the shade Bossy, I'm just filling in my lips, but again, because these two colors were not contrasting enough, it just looks like the same color. However, if you did want to do a ombre lip, I would recommend using a darker lip color and then a much lighter lip color to really get this effect. And that's it for the makeup. This is what it looks like all together with the full costume. I also did some highlight and blush on my face as well. But other than that, that's how you create the evil queen.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I had so much fun with it. It makes you want to do villains like all year round, not even just during this time of the year. This to me is like so much fun. I kind of like want to do this now as my Halloween look. I was planning on doing Meg and having my husband be Hercules, but now I think I might just do this by myself and, you know, just maybe sit around, have a cauldron of candy, maybe some red wine. Could be good. You know, those are my Halloween plans. What are you guys doing for Halloween? Are you doing anything? Are you hanging out with like a small group of friends? Are you guys doing a Zoom Halloween party? This would be perfect for that. Let me know what you guys are doing for Halloween, if you guys have any plans or what you're like looking forward to, what you would dress up as. Maybe if you were going to a party or if you're still dressing up. I know I'm still gonna dress up no matter what. That's just me. But thank you guys again so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great and safe Halloween and I will see you in my next one. Bye!